Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has signed a new bill that will undo decades of child labor protections in the state so that corporations, and here it is, corporations want to exploit the immigrants that are coming into this country. They want to exploit a cheap labor, a renewable source of labor to make a profit. It all centers, understand, think about this. We've seen this coming up in Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and New Hampshire, all at one time. Why? Because all of these immigrants are coming into the country, and we realize that we can have, the children working in every kind of job, whether they lose their arm, doesn't make any difference. They lose their arm, ship them back to Mexico or Guatemala, no harm done. We can pay them poverty wages. So all of a sudden, U.S. Chamber of Commerce, man, they're excited about this, aren't they?
Oh, they really are. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders has taken, the first step for this. We're undoing, almost 100 years of progress on child labor here in the United States. We're just undoing it at rapid pace. And I just want to show this too. These are the kids. They were standing next to her while she's here smiling with her bill. These are the kids. Look at how terrified their little faces are, because I feel like the kids understand how horrible this is. You got the parents in the background cheering it on, smiling. Good, put little Timmy to work in the coal mine.
Yeah.
But another thing that people need to understand, this is something I learned, for children under the age of 16, for the first 90 days of employment, they don't have to be paid minimum wage. You can pay them below $4 an hour
By then,
across the country.
Really?
Exactly.
They're going to be injured anyway.
Exactly.
Send a little, send them back to Nicaragua.
So we're talking about being able to bring in this cheap source of labor. Most of them probably will not make it 90 days.
No.
So you pay them $3, $4 an hour instead of $15 an hour. The corporation saves a bunch of money. The kids get hurt. They get shipped back overseas, or they get sent back to high school with one arm. And that's what happens.
You folks from Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and New Hampshire, this is what you're doing. You're completely exploiting immigrants that are coming in this country, and at the same time, we're singing, "We are the world," and like we really care, like this is a humanitarian effort to bring in these kids. There's nothing humanitarian about the way the U.S. Chamber of Commerce sees this. All this is cheap labor. They can take advantage of this as long as possible. We don't even have to go overseas now for cheap labor, because we've been able to bring, 3 million immigrants into this country? And so that's the new cheap labor.
It is. And it's getting younger and younger. And again, we don't have to go to the Saipan sweatshops. We have the sweatshops here, and we're legalizing it. Yeah. That's the big problem. Yeah. It's not just, we busted a meatpacking plant hiring 12-year-olds. So instead of saying, okay, meatpacking plant, you're in trouble, we're saying, let's change the law to where that's no longer a problem.
Iowa, Wisconsin, Arkansas, Minnesota, New Hampshire. Buddy, if you live there and you don't know this is going on, it is. Farron, thanks for joining me, okay?
Thank you.
That's all for this week, but all of these segments are going to be available this coming week right here on this channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at America's Lawyer. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where every week we tell you the stories that corporate media won't tell you because their advertisers don't let them tell those stories, or their political connections are so strong that it doesn't allow for them to tell the story. We'll see you next time.